Today webinar is on Maya. We will learn Maya today in a procedural way, that is Houdini way. Hello guys, welcome back to Team VFX webinar. So if you have seen our last webinar, we have focused on how to create the grass, how to populate the grass on the template in Houdini. So if you haven't seen, you can find out this webinar. And so after completing that webinar, few of my students were asking that if we want to do the same thing in Maya, then is that thing is possible or not. So today we are going to focus on that. Today we will see how to make the grass or populate any object like pebbles or rocks or any grasses, trees, herbs, shrubs to the or creating a jungle, something like that. For that particular thing, we need we have a copy to point node over here. So what we can do in Maya in that case. So if you have seen my last webinar, then you must understand what my copy to node does. So in today's webinar, we are going to learn something about Maya node structure and dependency graph, how the Maya dependency graph work, and what is the dependency graph actually is. Then we will learn the action and tool, that is the main concept of Maya structure, how the Maya's menus and options will run. And then we will learn the concept of Houdini in Maya, how we can implement our copy to point concept in Maya to populate the grass, pebbles or rock, anything which you like. At last we will using the mail as a vex. So mail is the only option we have to create anything in Maya. Other than mail we have a Python, but today we will focus only on mail. So guys, let's get started. Okay guys, so first and foremost, we need to know what is the difference between Houdini and Maya. So if you guys are familiar with Maya, then you can understand how the Maya works and how we do the modeling and character animation. But today we are going to learn the core concept of Maya, how what is the Maya architecture is and how that architecture works inside Maya. So this webinar is for those people who are already familiar with Maya, and this webinar is also for those people who has a Houdini background and they want to learn Maya. So today we are going to understand the concept, what is the difference between Houdini and Maya is. So you guys, as you can see in your screen, that we have some node structure over here and we have some node structure over here. So the difference you can see is in Houdini, whenever we create a node, this node just pass through whole of the geometry to a new node that is modifying that above geometry, and then it pass to this, and then it goes and goes and goes. So actually in Houdini, whenever we make anything, here we have created a pebbles, a rock, or just like we use this time we have used a for each node to how to copy the whole object. So you can see in Houdini, whenever anything goes past from upside to down, it just copy whole structure of that thing in that node. So this is the concept of Houdini. In Mountain 3 you will find grid 1, and in Transform 3 node you will find all two properties of this node, and below in Merge node you will find all the properties and all the creation that was made above. So that was the concept of Houdini. It's just transfer its whole data of primitives, points, transformation, everything to the upcoming node. But in Maya, the concept is quite different. So Maya has Maya has a very different concept of node structure. Whenever we create any node, like we want to create a polycube, so in the background of Maya, actually the mail run, and that mail create that dependency graph. So this is actually a dependency graph. We don't have in Maya the node structure. So that is the reason it was very tough for artists to work as a node base. Obviously Maya is a node based software, but we can't work by using node and node. So because we can't control them as we do in Houdini. So other thing, we would like to know what the dependency graph is. So dependency graph is something a node is dependent on other graph. So in Houdini we also have a dependency graph, like when we create some node and when we put some expression or a vex command in below node for this particular node, so a dependent connection is created. So we can see that thing in Houdini only when we will switch on that option. So you can see that there is an orange color of connection is going on, and we can't do anything. We can't delete that connection. We can just see that how that thing is work. So if you want to switch on this dependency graph, you can go to view and you can click on show dependency graph link on child node. So for selected node I have just put on, and you can switch to show for all node also. So in that case you can see everything what the dependency graph is doing. So in basic I'm just going to explain you. If I have a script or a code as a script is written over here, and that as a script is indicating my path to this metadata. So that means this node is dependent on this node, because this node is manipulating this node. In the same way, Maya has this node structure. Whenever you create a P node, indirectly it creates the transform node, it creates a shape node, and so on and so on and so on. Okay guys, so let's see in detail how the node structure and the concept of Maya is. Okay, so over here we have a basic graph of how the Maya architecture work. So generally whenever we create anything in Maya, like if you want to create a polysphere or polycylinder, like we create a polycylinder, so what generally happen is, so we will show you over here, like we created a polycylinder by clicking the menu, and what generally happen is Maya has two concepts of working. Like in Houdini we have a nodes for any action or any particular tool, or for any output we just create a node in Houdini. But Maya has a menu option, and every menu has a tools, neither actions. So I will explain you what the tool is and what the action is. So generally whenever we click any tool or action, what happened in Maya is, in the graph you can see like we have a user interface. Whenever we click any button or any menu in Maya, so it inside it run the mail command. Mail is Maya embedded language. It's just like Vex in Houdini, and the good thing about mail is that for Houdini artists, mail is also mail syntax is also like C, and it has took the idea from C++, just like Vex. And other thing is mail has the same speed, it works as fast as Vex sometime, and so few things are very common with mail and Vex. So if you will learn mail, if you know the Vex and if you have worked in Vex from a long time, so I think it won't take much time to understand the mail for you guys. And as we know, we have a connection going from user interface to mail. So whenever we want to create a polycylinder, we click on the user interface, and inside Maya the mail run. And after mail run, what mail do is mail just run the main core programming of Maya, that is Open Maya API, application programming interface. So that is the core concept of Maya for creating any plugins or input in Maya. If you want to make any tool, you can write a code in Open Maya API, and that is totally a C++ programming. And so inside Maya, when we click the interface, the mail run, the mail just force the Maya API to run, and then we can see in viewport our polycylinder. So this was the pipeline, how the Maya actually work. Now when the Open Maya, the API created this polygon cylinder, at the same time it create the dependency graph also in the user interface. So you can see that both the color is quite same of user interface and dependency graph. So the main reason behind creating the dependency graph is to understand what the Open Maya API is doing. So this was the whole concept of creating Maya any object in Maya. This was the main concept. And other thing is that what are the language we can use in Maya. Generally Maya come with mail. As I told you, it's a Maya embedded language, and from version I think 11 or 12 they were created the Python also, and that is only a wrapper of mail. So whenever we write anything Python CMD, like import Python CMD as CMD, so that we actually run the mail. So you know, when we will write a Python code, it run mail, and that it goes to Maya API, and that create your object. So it's quite slow if you will work with Python command in Maya. And again, in the new version of Maya from 17 or 18, we have this third-party tool PyMail. Yeah, so what I was saying is PyMail was created by third-party company, and the company name was Luma Picture, and I think it was in Melbourne, Australia. So PyMail is a open source program. Open source program in the sense you can understand, like you can download the whole program and you can modify it according to your requirement. So the concept of PyMail is very different from Python CMD. PyMail, whenever you write any code in PyMail, it generally generate Open Maya API, means C++ program, and so it's very fast and it's very Python related program. It's not wrapping the mail in any way. It's direct connecting with Maya core structure. So if you are using PyMail, then it's better if you are using mail. So PyMail, I'll say that PyMail is little better than mail because it has a very object oriented concept, and mail generally run on strings, so we have to manipulate lot of the strings for creating any object or modifying any object in there. So that was the whole concept of Maya structure. Guys, even though if you will have any problem to understanding the whole concept, you can contact me, you can comment, you can write a comment below, or you can contact me through email or WhatsApp. I can clear your doubt. So let's go to Maya and create something to understand practically the whole structure, how the whole structure works. Okay, so as I told you earlier, like I created a cylinder, we got a 3 node. So I'm just deleting it, and now when you will go to node editor in Maya, you will see press tab to create a node. So whenever we will create a tab, we will write like I want to create a polycube. So for polycube you can write POLY, now CUBE. So whenever you will write, you will get the list of all the node whatever is possible with that character. So we have this polycube command over here, and now what does this polycube command do? it's just running a mail command inside Maya. When you will go to script editor, you will find that that a poly command is running inside that. So look, create node, that is polycube. So but why we can't see anything over here? Because we have a polycube command, and this command is just showing the how the cube data will be. Yeah, so I was asking that why we can't anything over here. The reason behind is we have a node that is created that is showing the width and height and depth of that polycube command, but how the cube will look alike and what the cube is made up of and what will be the position of that cube, we have to show this thing in Maya. It was not like Houdini. Generally in Houdini, whenever we create any node like polycube or something, so we don't have to connect with transform node every time, because in object node we already have a transform details where that object will be inside the viewport. So but in Maya we don't have a different context like Houdini. So it has only one context where you have to work everything. If you want to work with dynamics, whether you want to work with character animation, modeling, rendering, so you have only one context, and that make Maya very confusing for people to work with. Yeah, so that what I was saying, that Houdini have a context, and that make Houdini very different and unique, and whole node structure is very clear for the artist, because we can understand that where we are working, whether we are in SOP node or we are in DOP or whether we are in object node or object context. So as I was saying that we have created a polycube, but we can't see that thing over in node because we have to give the shape and the position of this polycube. So for that particular thing we have to create one more node, and the name of that node is mesh, mesh. So when we will click this mesh node, you can see automatically a poly surface transform node generated. So this is the transform node, and it shows where your polygon will be in the 3D space. So what we have to do is, just like in WAP, you can click this 3 button and you will see all the attribute detail, and you have to connect this output with this in mesh input. So just connect this thing. Now we can see we have a polycube object in viewport. Okay, and you can see the whole color is green just because we haven't put any material over it. So it is only visible in viewport, we can't see in render output. For that particular thing we have to apply a material on the object. So what we can do is, again we can put a tab, or we can just write a Lambert over here, Lambert. So Lambert, and we will get a surface node also, and that show that the render layer. And now we have a Lambert. So what we can do is, we can just right click or assign to selected object. So we assign material to selected object. So I think no object is selected. You can select it by clicking polysphere, and then material to select. So we can see our object over here. That's a poly surface node. And again we have some connection over is going on. Though as I was saying earlier, this all are dependency connection. So we are modifying it. I am currently modifying it, but when you will go to node hypergraph, I think that is in general editor, hypergraph connection. So you can see these are all dependency node. We can't modify it over here. So in node editor we can modify it, but yeah, to a limited extent. So I hope you people can understand how the node editor work in Maya and how we can get the output. And again I can say that we have a very limitation to work as in node editor, as we can't do everything over here because it's a dependency graph. Now let's go to create the grass, what we were focusing, and how we can implement the Houdini concept inside the Maya. So again I'm going to delete all these things, and this time I will generate a curve just like I was doing in Houdini. So let's go back to Houdini and see how I had started the whole concept. So over here the first node I was created was line. Okay, so Maya does not have any line like that. A line is actually a polygon. So what we have is we have a CV curve. So we can create a CV curve in Maya and we can modify according to our requirement. So let's work with it in viewport. So I'm going to create a CV curve, and I'll start from over here, and I will put some 5 control point. So as you can see, we have a curve in transform node and we have a shape node. So now go to channel editor. Yeah, so we have a channel editor and we will rotate this thing in 90 degree in X position, just like what we did in Houdini. Okay, so after this we just want to need it to bend a little bit in any axis, whether it's a X or Z. So for that particular thing we will use a simple command, and that is bend curve. So we'll go to surface node and we'll just curve, and we'll click a bend command over here. So default it is used to be 1, and I'll put 0.5 something, and I will apply it. So what it generally does is generally put a bend, it put the set attribute, and it from 0 to point number it just give the position so that the whole curve will get bent a little bit. Okay, so that was our bend curve. It is just a mail command and nothing else. Now we have 2 node over here, and what we need is to do is we need to create a surface. So as our webinar is focusing on working in Maya in Houdini way, or creating a surface by creating the node, so we will do all thing over here in the node editor. So we can understand how the node works, and this is the parent node and this is the child node. It's usually transform node usually come with the parent node. So now we need a revolve command to find a surface over here. So for that thing we will put a revolve, REVOLVE, revolve command, and once we will get this, we have to connect this output, the world position. This is an array, so it say where my point number is. So what I will do is I will just connect this thing with this point, and when we will click the other option, it will show input connection, and I will click this input curve. So earlier it was not showing, but now my world space is connecting with input curve. So what revolve does is just give the axis, the amount, how much the surface will create. But again we need a surface node to see the surface output in viewport. So we will create a in mesh node, tab mesh, and we have a poly surface node, but the problem is the revolve generally give the output in NURBS, and we have a surface node in polygon. So what we can do is we will just convert our polygon NURB surface to polygon. So for that thing we have a node that is tessellation node, TESS, NURBS tessellation. So it will convert our NURB surface to polygon. So again we have a output surface, we are just connecting with it another. So we have a input surface and we got this thing. So now our output is currently NURBS. We have to change the option. It is written over here is triangle, make it squares, and the format will be the count. Now if we'll go down, we'll get a polygon count that is 200. I think 100 is quite enough, and we don't need anything else. Other things are quite okay. So what we need to do is we just output, we want to see the poly output in mesh node. So now we got some weird output over here. It's nothing, it's just a surface revolving 360 degree. So we have to make it little bit less. So what we can do is we have a 360 degree option, so we will change it to something like 8.6 or something. And now we will change our viewport pivot to in 10 or something. So now we have got a beautiful shape of our grass, and again it's looking green just because we don't have any surface node. I will put a Lambert over here, and I will select the surface and I will assign material to viewport selection. So everything is fine except our surfaces, our normals are in wrong side. What we can do is we can just rotate the curve in minus x-axis. So the easiest way to do is we will select our curve, and again we'll go to bend command, and this time I will put -1 over here and I will apply it. So now my curve is in opposite direction and my normal is in right direction. So far so good. We have our grass leaves. Now we want to populate on the point. So this time just like in Houdini, I will create a disk, and I will subdivide. I have divided it over here, and then point triangular I have put a scatter, but in Maya I will work it in different ways. So what I will do is I will create the disk. So just select all these things and keep it over here, and now we will work with the disk. So this time I am going to create a poly disk, POLYDISK, sorry, POLYDISK. Now I will get a poly disk, and as usual, you know what we have to do is we need to put a mesh node, MESH, and now the connection we already know the output will be go to in mesh, and again I will just assign my default normal, default Lambert to that value, assign material to viewport selection. Okay, so we need to select the object first, so that our poly surface node, that Maya always select or show the surface transform node of the surface. So we have to select this, and we need to go to Lambert and assign material to selection. Now we have a poly disk. So you can see there is one connection is also going to my Lambert. What next we need to do is we just want to increase the size to 20 and 20. Okay, so I think we need a little much bigger, as my leaves of the grass are a little too high, so I will make it 200 or 100 is quite okay. Yeah. And other thing we need to do is we want to subdivide it like I did in Houdini. So in that case I just increase the division of the polydays. So I will select my polydays. I'll select my polydays and I will put subdivision to something 6. Okay, so we have a lot of vertices over here. For time being, I think 5 is okay. In future we will see what we can do is. So we have two objects over here. One is my polydays, that is my template, and one is my leaf, that is my object. So we want to put that whole thing in the position of my template. And what usually we do in Houdini is we just put it copy to point node, so it automatically just put the position. So in Maya we have to work it in little different way. We have to find the vertices of the template, the position of the vertices of the template, and then we have to put that position object position in that vertices. So to do that thing we don't have any node and anything in Maya. So for that particular reason we have to go to mail. Okay, so I have a script editor. Now I'll take one new mail tab. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on this. So first important thing of mail command is that, as I told you earlier, all the things is same just like Wix, but only difference is in mail is that we call function as a command over here, and command has some flag, mean that is a argument of that function. So first I will create a string where I will put the template. So that for that particular thing I will create a list function, and let's create a string string, and to define a variable in a mail you have to put before a $, so that Maya can understand